Workers also include some of the people that hold your life in their very hands. That's also the workers, like the pharmacists and the pharmacy techs. Those are some of the people that are also workers among you. And if they do not have good working conditions where they can work in the best optimal conditions, then that literally puts you at risk. I have to get my prescriptions filled every month. And if they get something wrong, hopefully they don't, but if they get something wrong, who does it hurt? If you got a kid, and let's say your kid has been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and they have to take a particular medication. That particular medication could be given in the wrong dose and your kid can be in big trouble. Or what if they don't give you enough of the medication that your kid needs? That's the point. This is why these corporations need to actually pay enough, but they just don't want to because of greed, because of capitalism, because they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders, when in reality, their responsibility really should be to the people whom they serve. Stock up on your medicines right now. Don't walk, run. A fast strike is fast approaching, and you better get your medications filled at Walgreens or CVS now, or you could be in for a doozy, baby. Why? Let's take a look. Because this is some shit. I'm telling you right now. Because Walgreens, they are saying, we are done. We're done with you. That. I gotta do what you told me. You see. Oh my gosh. So, this is an article. It says Walgreens CVS workers plan nationwide strike. Nationwide is on your side. Pharmacy employees at Walgreens and CVS are in talks to organize nationwide walkouts and protests in late October. People familiar with the matter told CNBC. CVS pharmacy employees in Kansas City called out of work late September to protest heavy workloads and understaffing. Ooh-wee. Executives at the pharmacy chain met with the workers who returned to work after CVS agreed to pay overtime, increase staffing, and curb the amount of jab appointments. You know, as you guys know, I got to be careful what I say on here. Okay. Some Walgreens pharmacists followed suit, and some pharmacies closed across 4 states during the 3-day walkout. On Reddit, where the walkout was organized, workers reported that corporate leaders were visiting some locations. But unlike the labor action among CVS workers, the Walgreens walkout did not end with an agreement with the company's leaders. Sources confirmed to CNBC that Walgreens employees are planning a walkout to last from October 30th to November 1st. It's only 3 days. Look, y'all better. Anyway. And the organizers are in contact with CVS pharmacists and joining them. The main organizer for the labor action in Kansas City said that they are meeting with CVS leadership on October 20th, which is 3 days from now. And if that meeting is unsuccessful, then CVS workers will be 100% behind the national walkouts with Walgreens. A CVS spokesperson told Beckers the company is not seeing any unusual activity regarding unplanned pharmacy closures or pharmacist walkouts. Walgreens did not comment on another possible walkout. And a spokesperson said the company is recognizing it has been a very challenging time for its staff and is listening to employees' concerns. So here is the thing. Why are they striking? It says to protest heavy workloads and understaffing. That's why. So what does this mean for you and I that are just customers? Well, heavy workloads and understaffing basically means poor working conditions. So this is dangerous for people like you and me, right? Because many scenarios can happen. Some very dangerous scenarios can take place. It can happen from you getting the wrong medication to getting the wrong amount of your prescription. It could be a little too less of your prescription. It could be a little too much of your prescription, or not even getting your prescription filled at all. This can range from having an uncomfortable experience to a life-threatening issue. I really want to stress how important walkouts like this are. The reason being is because if your pharmacist is overworked and if they're facing poor working conditions, that is literally a threat to your life. I'll put it to you this way. You're about to fly on vacation, right? You got a good deal on your tickets, right? You're going on a decent airline, so you don't have to worry about it. Everything goes great. You get to the airport on time. You get to the gate, right? You even had it smooth when you went through TSA. Ain't nobody felt you up too much. And things went, they didn't even take you to the side for a special pat down. Everything went fine. You get to the gate. You get into the front of the line. And then they even said, you know what? Since you got priority seating, we're going to put you in first class because there's not too many people in first class, and we're just going to give it to you. All these good things happen to you. You get down to the jetway, and then what do you see? You see the pilot as you're boarding the plane, and he's looking at you like this. Hey, yeah, how you doing? How you doing? A concern comes over you. You're like, he looks exhausted. He looks tired. What's going on? I don't like it. He doesn't seem very alert. Do you still want to board that plane? If you knew that that pilot has been working 50 hours that week, they're going on their 51st, 52nd, 53rd hour, and they're exhausted beyond belief, are you going to be comfortable with having a pilot that's not well rested? Would you be comfortable with a surgeon that is not well rested before their surgery with you? Would you be okay with that? I wouldn't. If somebody is going to be measuring out the right amount of medications for me, I want them to be well rested. I want them to be within their right frame of mind when they're dealing with the substances that I have to put into my body. And yet, because of poor working conditions, they don't. And so it could be a matter of you getting 2.5 milligrams of something that's in your prescription to them not seeing that decimal point and them giving you 25 milligrams. And who ends up in the hospital? And who may wind up perishing because of that missed decimal point? All because they're overworked, they're fatigued, they're tired, they're taxed. This is why it is so important for them to do this walkout, for them to go on strike. Because if they're facing poor working conditions, that means those poor working conditions is going to blow back on you and me. This is why it is so important. Now, let's go to how much they're essentially making. Because don't they make enough? Doesn't CVS and Walgreens essentially make enough in order for them to pay to have enough staff? Walgreens gross profit and net earnings in the United States from 2005 to 2022. So if you look at it, 2005 to 2022. So over 10 billion. And now look at here. In 2022 is over $28 billion in gross profit. So it says in fiscal year of 2022, the U.S. drugstore chain Walgreens generated about $4 billion in gross profit, over 28 billion US dollars. So they're making hand over fist. And you got to remember, this is a part of Big Pharma. And you know Big Pharma makes a ton of money. So, Chief Executive Officer at Walgreens Boots Alliance, Inc., Rosalind J. Brewer, made $17,287,489 in total compensation. Of this total, $1.5 million was received as salary. $3.57 million was received as a bonus. $2.885 million was received in stock options, and $8.511 million was awarded as stock, and $820,000 came from other types of compensation. This information is according to proxy statements filed in the 2022 fiscal year. So, that's a lot of money. So, when it comes to companies like Walgreens and CVS, yeah, they can pay a lot more. And by paying a lot more, what I mean is they could definitely hire more people and do better for their pharmacists and their pharmacy techs, because that's ridiculous. So let me share this because I like this guy. His anger energizes me, and I hope he energizes you too. Gotta love this guy. My family's from Pennsylvania, so he got that Pennsylvania accent. And he screams like my family does in Pennsylvania. So let's go.
Hope y'all got your med refills set up for November 1st. Hope you got them ready. You got 2 weeks before November 1st. Make sure your meds are good because it sounds like Walgreens is about to go on strike. The pharmacies in the back of Walgreens, they're talking about going on strike, and it's not because of pay. It's not because of pay. It's because of conditions, okay? I know what you're thinking. I don't go to Walgreens. CVS is thinking about it too. CVS is thinking about going on strike. Some of their locations are, at least. And then we're thinking, oh, I'll go to Rite Aid. Rite Aid just declared bankruptcy. And here's the conditions. Here's the problem that we're having right now. You see, you have these pharmacies and the pharmacy techs, right? You've gone to the pharmacy. You know what I'm talking about. If you get regular medication, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those people are running full sprint marathons for 8 fucking hours straight. Their whole shift is front to back running like dogs. They're trying to fill meds. They're trying to answer the phone. They're trying to answer the fucking register. They're trying to answer the fucking drive-through like it's a goddamn Wendy's. Then they're trying to administer vaccines and testing on people. They just added a minute clinic. A lot of these places now are demanding that the customers, like myself, go and order our medications through apps because we there's nobody to answer the phone. So we got to use an app, which means that the people working in the pharmacy have to show people how to use the app. And the people who are in front of me at the goddamn pharmacy are 89 years old and Korean War veterans, and they don't need to know how to use a fucking app on a goddamn Android. So these people are sitting there. They're making good money. The people working at these pharmacies, they are making good money. They just don't have enough fucking bodies to get through the day. And the thing is corporate isn't going to listen because corporate looks at the bottom fucking line and the bottom fucking line says, we're making good money and we ain't paying a lot of fucking payroll. That's the best thing that corporate could ever look for.
And that, kids, is what we like to call, say it with me, capitalism. The shareholders are happy. If the shareholders are happy, then the CEO is happy. Oh, see, the workers, we don't care about them. The shareholders, those are happy. You want to make the shareholders go like this. Ooh-wee! I get to have another yacht. Yippee! Take it away, my ginger compadre.
It's a KPI. It's a key performance indicator. They ain't looking at the performance that you and I look at when we see an employee in a pharmacy running back and forth, trying to teach a 78-year-old person how to open up the fucking iTunes store to download an app so they can order the fucking medication to get a boner again. They don't have to see that. They just look at a percentage at the bottom of a fucking spreadsheet, and then they turn to BlackRock and Vanguard and say, we're doing great, fellas. But we see it. We see the fear and the hesitancy and the fucking exhaustion in these people's eyes. And then as we're standing 15 people deep at 5:15 p.m. on a fucking Wednesday trying to get the medication we need because if we eat goldfish crackers, we get fucking heartburn at 39. We notice the same thing they notice, which is that there's 2 fucking registers here, and the second one has never been fucking open ever.
Oh, I can talk about this. Don't you hate that? Yo, it's literally like 2 registers and only 1 open, and they don't want to open the other one. And I'm like, call somebody in. Call them. Schedule somebody for that shift, especially at 5 o'clock. I'm sorry, this guy's making me mad. He's getting me riled up. At 5 o'clock, and then you're sitting there, you just got off dialysis, you're tired out your ass, and then guess what? You gotta wait? And then they got only 1 register open? And so then you're sitting there waiting for that prescription to be filled. You ain't got no car, so it's not like you can actually just go somewhere, wait your 30 to 45 minutes for your prescription to be filled so that you can just come back and then get it. You have to just run around the store, picking up bottles of Fleet to see, oh, wow, this really does rinse out your asshole, huh? So then, guess what? You have to wait there the entire time, and you ain't got that much money, and you're crossing your fingers, hoping that your insurance will pay for it, and then maybe just maybe you can use some of those extra bucks for that bag of peanut M&Ms. For then what? For you to be ready to pass out because they don't want to hire enough people to man the registers. And so your pharmacist is tired. And what if they mess up on your prescription? And then you get hurt because they messed up. Or your kid gets hurt because they messed up. Oh, God. God forbid, right? God forbid. Take it away, Red.
There isn't enough staff, and they're not willing to hire. And I know what you're thinking. I'll go someplace else. A lot of them are starting to go under now. They're starting to go fucking bankrupt because those same fucking executives who went and said we have enough staff when we don't are the same ones who told all these pharmacies to look the other way when all these prescriptions for OxyContin were being written. And now those same fucking executives lost all of their fucking trials, and now they have to pay out. They have to pay out to the families and the victims that we lost to the opioid epidemic. So here we are. Here we are. Just stuck in a cycle. Back and forth forever.
Workers also include some of the people that hold your life in their very hands. That's also the workers, like the pharmacists and the pharmacy techs. Those are some of the people that are also workers among you. And if they do not have good working conditions where they can work in the best optimal conditions, then that literally puts you at risk. I have to get my prescriptions filled every month. And if they get something wrong, hopefully they don't, but if they get something wrong, who does it hurt? If you got a kid, and let's say your kid has been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and they have to take a particular medication. That particular medication could be given in the wrong dose and your kid can be in big trouble. Or what if they don't give you enough of the medication that your kid needs? That's the point. This is why these corporations need to actually pay enough, but they just don't want to because of greed, because of capitalism, because they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders, when in reality, their responsibility really should be to the people whom they serve. This is why I always say we need to nationalize our healthcare system. We should not have pharmaceuticals or pharmacy companies for profit. We should not. It should all be ran by the people. It should be just you go to the pharmacy and you get what you need and it's paid for through taxation. That's it. That's all. And you pick up what you need at the pharmacy. That's because what else is there? Our pharmacists should not be going through this, and this is a result of cost cutting to retain profit, aka capitalism. Pharmacists are absolutely essential to our society, and if they don't have favorable working conditions or paid adequately, then that puts many of us as patients at risk. Solidarity with the workers, including pharmacists and pharmacy techs, because without them, many of us will be dead.